Bokeem Woodbine, happy to have you, my man.
Good to be here, bro.
Yes, indeed. I've been trying to get you for a while now, man. I'm a big fan of your work, man.
Thanks, brother. Appreciate that. Thank you, man. Yeah, congrats on everything you're doing, man. You know, I see art of dialogue everywhere. Everywhere I'm constantly seeing that. Good branding.
Oh man, appreciate that, man. That means a lot coming from you. But I gotta ask you, me looking at your backdrop, amazing backdrop, man. Hawaii, what made you
Yeah.
move out there?
I needed that. I needed that. I needed, from Harlem to Hollywood to Honolulu. I needed the change, you know what I'm saying, brother? It was something that kind of just spoke to me during the pandemic. When I had a lot of time to just be. Um, and while I was just existing with no work, no lines to memorize, no deadlines, no call time to respond to, I just started asking myself if I felt like where I was where I wanted to raise my little people. And, it dawned on me that I wanted to give them an opportunity to have a different perspective. And so the Wee and we conspired to uh, get them up out of there and give them a different perspective. And that's why we've been here. It'll be 5 years in November.
How you like it?
I love it, brother. I love it, man. It's different in the sense that now when I go to an airport to go on assignment or something, um, it's loud to me. You know what I mean? Being just in the airport is loud to me. If I have a connecting flight, which a lot of flights are connecting, um, for me coming from this location, it takes like a while to adjust to being around so many people. And everybody seems like they're feeling a very intense emotion, whatever it is. And, I'm so laid back on such a, you know, thorough and regular, consistent basis that it always kind of makes me feel like, wow, everything is so intense once you get off the island. So I feel blessed. I feel supremely blessed because I'll go away for like 4 months on assignment or something, or even little short jaunts. Like recently, I was just doing some press for something. So the only time I really got off island in the past like 14 months is a few times I went to Tokyo, you know what I'm saying, just to build with some folks and just eat some delicious food. And then I went on these like press tour junkets. And other than that, I've been on the island for about 14 months, man. So my speed has just shifted. I've downshifted speed wise. I'm like this.
Yeah, I gotta go out there one day, man. Everything I heard about Hawaii, man, is positive. So I definitely gotta make my way out there. But I
Yeah.
wanna ask you, right? Me being a guy from Houston, Jason Leary, you shot that in Houston, right? In Third Ward?
Uh, I remember I got the call way back in, this had to be 93. Oh, no, no, not even 93. Oh, yeah, no, 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 about 93. In 1993, I believe. 1993. My agent at the time said, they're interested in you for this one role and they're circling around you for this one project. And basically it came down to me and one other cat, and I had to go to Houston to I had to go to Houston to find out if I got the role by auditioning, going basically like head up against this other cat, and they wanted to see how our chemistry was with Alan Payne. And so we had to do chemistry reads. We had to kind of like just basically compete for the role. So they flew us both into Houston. They knew they wanted to do it in Houston, but they didn't know which of us they wanted to go with. And so we had to compete for the role. And yeah, I ended up going my way. And then I ended up having one of the most educational and exciting experiences in my career working on Jason's lyric, because it was my first time working in a feature film that really, really gave me something to do. I'd worked on Crooklyn prior to that, which is a feature film, And but I didn't really have anything to do in that project. I think maybe I had one line or one or two lines. So it was a good experience, working with a great director like Spike Lee. But Jason's Lyric was the first time I had an opportunity to really do something, and I knew it was going to be a feature length film. So it was very, very exciting for me.
Yeah, I remember you making a comment in an interview before about your character in that movie, saying that it was a stretch.
A little of a stretch, you said?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yep.
Oh yeah, it was not a little of a stretch. I mean, the thing is there's so many regional differences based upon where I grew up and where my character was from. There's certain fundamental major paradoxes in this young man's approach to life that, me as an individual, I never really dealt with that kind of confusion. This is a very confused young man. You know what I mean? So me, I was really, really clear about what I wanted out of life at that age. And the character I was playing just was all over the place and just didn't really know what he wanted out of life. And so if you don't even know what you really want out of life, it's almost impossible to get it. And if you stumble into it, you'll probably ruin it because you don't know its value. And so I was trying to really uh, be honest about what he must have felt like being so confused. And to answer your question, to get back to what you were saying, yeah, we're very different. It was a huge stretch for me to try to become that person.
Shooting at the third ward, how was that like?
We were in third and fifth ward. Yeah, yeah. Uh, let's just say, I used to wander away from set sometimes because I wanted to get a sense of where I was in relation to the character I was playing, and I gave them heart attacks. They kept trying to impress upon me. This is not the kind of place you could just be walking around aimlessly. You know what I mean? But I did. I did. And as I got to see uh, the people and the environment, and I got to see, how so many people were able to hold their heads with so much dignity, even though clearly, you know, this was a challenging environment to grow up in. That really inspired me. You know what I mean? Like, it's possible to have grace in even the most challenging circumstances and environments, and I was really impressed by the community that I saw there. Because it was a rugged town. It's a rugged, it's a rugged piece of real estate right there.
Yeah, you said it was hard on the eyes, looking at the conditions you was around.
Yeah. Some of the best barbecue I ever had in my life was in Houston, though. I have to say, I still haven't had barbecue quite as good as that. Some of the best barbecue I've ever had in my life.
How was it like working with Jada, a young Jada at that?
Oh, she's great. She was just super prepared, man. She's a pro. You know what I mean? She had it together, and a good sense of humor too. She had a good sense of humor, easy to work with. You know, easy to work with. No issues.
Classic movie, and it's a little sad too. That scene where you getting beat on.
Yeah, that was fun. Uh, Tretch is merciless. Tretch is merciless. He was having a blast doing that. Oh man, that's my brother for life. But it was so funny. He was having a good time. Uh, Beat me up. It was hot too, man. That was a hot day, brother. I remember now clearly. It was hot because we were in a garage. There's something about the garages like where they have it's almost like aluminum siding or like that hot metallic roof, and I don't know, some kind of way it just it just makes it hotter when you're inside a garage like that. And we weren't getting any kind of ventilation. I was not a fun day. Everybody was having a good time with me. Uh,
Would you say that you being a Jason Lyric, your career went up after being in that movie? Because I mean, you killed that role.
Appreciate it, brother. I can't really say. I would say the first, you know, maybe 6 years. The first 6 years, I was on a nice run. And Jason's lyric definitely gave me some momentum. And then it was a picture that came not too long after that called Dead Presidents, gave me a nice um, boost as well. Um, so those were two very pivotal instrumental projects for me early on. And they were within the first 5 pictures I ever made. So the diversity of content was something that really inspired me because Jason's lyric was something that had to do with, from my perspective, confused young man who was just he just never really got the help he needed. I think you know what I mean because of the horror that he had experienced so early in life. He never really got the kind of meticide, you know what I mean, like the healing that would help him. So that's one guy. And then you have another guy who came from a very religious, strict, you know, background, but, never really wanted for anything, who enlists in the Marine Corps and becomes a savage, basically, like a beast. And then when that's over, he goes back to, a very codified lifestyle and becomes a preacher. You know what I mean? So those are very different roles for me. And so I remember at that time thinking, "Wow, this is such a breadth of material for me to take on as a challenge." And it was a very inspiring time in the beginning.